Almost don't even speak about coronavirus. It makes me so mad.
You're just gonna have a life partnership.
Yeah, a life partnership, and then it won't be recognized by the state. But
It's recognized by like the Church of England or something.
I don't know. I think they're sick too.
Yeah,
I think they got the Rona too.
probably. I saw where the EU closed their borders for the first time in forever.
I don't even know what EU stands for. European Union. Yeah, I do.
This dude.
I think it's the Rona. It's getting my brain. What if this is a way that we all got superpowers though? So everybody gets sick. We wake up in a hospital bed, and then like we all have powers.
That's kind of like what's happening in Marvel's X.
Which I'm still really confused about, and I just wanted to get it because I like the artwork.
So do you want to roll the titles before we get into that?
Yeah, we can roll the title.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome back to Any Given Wednesday. I feel like every episode now, just to make the producer laugh, I have to do that.
Make it super awkward.
Very dry, awkward. Hello, welcome to Any Given Wednesday.
I've broken every COVID-19 rule so far. I coughed since we started this. I've touched my face. I've wiped my eye.
We're not like 6 feet apart.
We're not 6 feet apart.
Yeah, we should be on the far ends of the table.
Right.
Even that's pushing it.
So we were just talking about the virus taking over everybody and giving them powers.
Yes.
So that's basically what happens in Marvel's X.
Okay.
And it's this virus that basically forces people to like almost create like a chrysalis around them into a cocooning effort. And that issue number 3 came out last week. We talked about it, I think.
Yeah.
And they emerge from the chrysalis with powers. So it follows the story of a guy named David he's not got the virus. All of his family has got, like, his parents died. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't read at least issue 1. His parents died when they were shopping by rioters, and then his grandmother got it.
Roners?
Yeah, Roners. His grandmother got it, and she died because she's old age. But his sister got it, and she, like, just, I don't even know what her power is yet, but she basically, when she came through the chrysalis, she was like screaming this really loud noise, like this really loud screech, and then like launched out of their house, like straight through the roof and everything, never to be seen again. And this one woman's like turned into a tree, like just
That's her power?
like Groot's mom.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Dude,
So-
Groot is super underpowered.
yeah,
Or no one talks about it. but
underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a better word.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
very
underpowered,
underrated.
He does pretty cool things.
Very underrated.
But and she's called Mrs. Tree.
Very on the nose.
She runs a
Nice.
she runs a grocery store there in town. So it's pretty cool. It's got kind of a Last of Us vibe. Like David goes off with this random trucker who's going to New York City, to the East Coast.
That's like his end goal is to get to New York. Find
his
Captain
end
America.
goal is to get to New York and find Captain America, Spider-Man, all of his heroes. But it's setting up. It's kind of the prelude, whatever, to X-Earth,
Mhm.
where it's just like Marvel is part of that whole series as well, where everyone on Earth has a superpower, and the humans are the ones who are rare.
Yeah.
And David is one of the humans.
It's that whole relationship between like what we see in X-Men with mutants and humans, and
Yeah.
where's the line drawn with that? Like, are mutants more valuable than humans? Are humans more valuable? Blah, blah, blah. Who is?
Well,
So it's going to be that same.
Alex Ross is on that
dynamic.
big brain shit.
Alex Ross is amazing.
He's writing all 3 of them.
Oh,
All 3 of those storylines.
yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
X-Earth, but I haven't seen it anywhere. X-Earth 1, there's some of them that are going for like $25-$30 per variant, like
Mhm.
different variant covers. There's 12 covers, I think.
So I don't know if I've ever read anything by Alex Ross. I know I've seen his drawings and stuff, but I'm interested to see like
Yeah.
what his writing is like.
So far I like Marvel's X pretty good. It's got like his sketches at the end
Mhm.
of like his like the character studies for like David, and it shows David with like 6 different angles of his head and different actions and stuff like that. And the same thing with like the grandmother and John, and then it shows like John, who's the guy who's going across the country to New York with
Yeah.
David, who's the truck driver. He it shows like relations of like how tall John is and how short David is, like how they are in relation to one another and his sister. And so it's pretty interesting. No other book has that.
Yeah.
But the mutant stuff, that I also picked up all the X-Force issues so far.
Yeah.
And because that was one from last week, just came out, one of last week's books. And it's interesting how this whole, I guess it's Krakoa is how you pronounce it.
Krakoa. Every time I see it, I think of Squidward and SpongeBob when he's like, Krakatoa. When they get superpowers.
Yeah, they're all there,
Mm-hmm.
and then if they're not there, they're getting there.
So this is the island that Xavier's created to put all the mutants, or all the, I guess at this point it's just mutants.
Exactly. So it's very interesting how they're all there, and they just accepted everybody, like villains or non-villains, like Wolverine and Sabretooth, sitting there talking to one another, and things like that. And so, X-Force is there, plus X-Men is on top of that. And then you have Cable, who's on the same island, and you have the Wolverine story is on the same island. So all this stuff is moving in parallel. Plus, now Hellions is about to come out, and that's a
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, that's a number one. That's a number one of this week. Is Hellions it's going to be? They're going to be. They're like the police of the island. So.
Oh wow.
I think it's Mr. Sinister. I think that's who it is. No, Sister Sinister. Right?
So do they have powers or are
they're
human?
mutants.
Okay.
Yeah, and Sister Senator's a mutant.
Okay, cool.
And Sister Sinister, not Senator. Senators aren't gonna do anything. Sinister. She's put this group together to kind of, now it's like setting the rules. What are we gonna hold all these people to? Because they've opened their gates to everyone.
Yeah.
And so it should be pretty good. I'm getting kind of intrigued with how they're gonna manage to maintain quality with all these various storylines that are going on around it.
So they've created the whole Krakoa thing with, what were some of the first ones to come out? Was it Wolverine?
No, well, the first ones to come out were like standard X-Men.
Okay.
And then Fantastic Four and X-Men, which is like X and 1 basically, and then X-Force. And Wolverine just came out last month.
Gotcha.
But all these started in November.
So these have like set up the setting for us and the scene of like what's going on. And now they're doing all these, I don't want to say one-offs, but offshoots of this.
So Cable's another one. And
Yeah.
Cable number 2 comes out next week after next. I know the FOC is this week. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, I didn't see that. But I know you and me were talking about this is the way that Marvel is reintroducing the X-Men. Yeah. And possibly into the cinematic universe, which would be pretty sweet.
Well, and Wolverine 2 has Spider-Woman on the variant. That's like my pick of the week, and I've requested on my pool. So I don't know if she's going to be in this issue or if it's just like a fan thing or what's going to go on. But I'm interested to see how they intertwine it too, which is why I'm trying to pick up more like, especially ones that are just starting, like Spider-Woman just rebooted.
She's been in a lot of stuff recently.
Exactly.
And
so
it's going to be popping up.
Yeah, ones that are like rebooting, I'm trying to get those because I think that's going to be like the first way to get everybody in there. But I really like how New Mutants, well, not New Mutants, but X-Force, X-Men, Wolverine, Cable, I really like how all those are laid out. We talked about that with Wolverine a few episodes ago about how they have the different graphic design and typography layouts, especially like the schedule for the comics and how they're coming out. No other comic does that. And so that's carried out throughout the whole story. So it's almost as if they're going to be able to make, it's like if it was a Game of Thrones book. Like you would take, and you'd stack it on top of one another. You'd have like the Cable storyline. You get done reading that, and then the next chapter is someone else's perspective, a whole other part of the island.
That's going to be, I think that's going to be worth its weight in the story alone.
Yeah.
Like someone that's looking to get into a brand new storyline, jump into this because you can start reading it whatever perspective you want, but or take a story and be like, I wonder what Cable's view of this whole situation was.
Yeah,
let me jump into that.
It gives you more context. So have you read Cable?
No, not yet.
Okay. So like if you read X-Force and or like issue number 1, it shows Sabretooth. He's out there looking at something. He's like really calmed down because he feels sheltered. He feels safe on this island. So he's like over there doing something by like this flowing water. It looks like a stream or a creek or something. And this big wolf/bear or whatever. You can't really see what it is, but it's big and furry. It comes out of the woods and like attacks him and throws him in the water, and Wolverine jumps down, scares off. He's like, "No, don't kill it. Like I want to know what it is first. Don't kill it." And Wolverine's like, "I've been hunting that thing for 3 days." Well, that same type of thing happens in Cable #1. And they talk about how the island's not as safe as they think it is, and it's not. You shouldn't be blinded by it because there's something hiding everywhere. There's a serpent here, or a wolf there, or a witch here, like all this stuff.
Does the Cable comic deliberately point out Wolverine and Sabretooth?
Yeah, he shows up.
Okay, so he knows.
Cable and Wolverine are fighting each other.
Gotcha.
At the beginning of the book.
Okay.
Yeah, so and there's like all the mutants on the island.
Okay.
And so they're on the same same spot.
I didn't know if it was one of those things where like he's experiencing something but has no idea like what's going on.
Right. Well, it's just
and the reader knows.
Yeah.
Because they have the insight from the other comic book.
But like if I read that in November, and then I had been keeping up with New Mutants and X-Force and X-Men, all that stuff. If I had been keeping up with all these books and I read Cable, it's like, oh yeah, well this is playing off of that.
Yeah.
But I just read Cable last week and I reread it again before I started into this world. But then I was like, oh, I make just context into the world, so you, the reader, are able to put together what's really going on. And so it's good. It's interesting. I've never been a huge X-Men person. I enjoyed the X-Men movies from back in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I haven't really kept up with the newer ones, but it's pretty good. Professor Xavier's presented pretty cool in the way they have it set up. Like it's this, like his Cerebro, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his Cerebro, and then he's got this cool like
he's walking, isn't he?
Yeah, he walks.
Yeah.
He walks, and he's got this like sick helmet, and it's like a remote helmet. Like he doesn't have to be strapped in anywhere.
Yeah, I saw it on the artwork.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Well, yeah. When I get done reading X-Force, I'll let you take a look at them.
I think my first dive into that whole situation is going to be this giant size X-Men, the Nightcrawler #1 that's coming out this week.
Yeah, and
just because I love Nightcrawler. So
yeah,
it's going to be my way into it.
So he hasn't been in any of these books so far, but I'm looking forward to like when he's going to appear somewhere, because he's got to. Like
the synopsis was that he's going on some mission. He's leading some mission on the island.
Right.
But I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just the appreciation that I have for Nightcrawler reading it, I think is what's going to bring me into this. And then a couple weeks from now, y'all are going to be like, well, finally caught up.
Well, that's like this most recent issue of X-Force. I think issue #9 is the one that just came out last week. I think it's issue #9. It has, it's all of it's like several of them collecting together to go out like on a hit mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's actually like X-Force is being created with Wolverine and some other ones.
Okay.
So then this new issue, and they're bringing in this new variant with these issues. It has like an X. It's black. It's a black cover with an X, and it's through to a group of people. So there's a Wolverine variant with that as well, that same X. But it's the same because every book in the X-Men kind of arc right now has that variant in there, that X over them.
I was gonna ask too, is there a way that people can tell what they're looking at as far as like if they do want to jump into this? Is there a way that they can tell that that comic line is a part of this whole
anything X-Men right now?
Yeah,
anything in the low numbers. And cool. X-Men itself has been rebooted, so X-Men itself is only going into issue 9 right now.
Got you.
That's this week.
So it's not too late. You can jump right into it.
Yeah,
in
most
shops,
like X-Force is hard to. I had to order 2, 3, and 4 off of eBay, because I couldn't find those anywhere. But most shops have decent sized shops anyway. Have X-Force. All of them have some Wolverine variants left. All of them have Cable variants. They're doing a second printing of Cable pretty soon. They're going to do a second printing of Cable the same week they come out with Cable #2, and Cable #2 is a little less hyped up, so it's not going to be as big. And let's see, those are the only ones. Hellions obviously is #1, so you can hop into that. It's kind of like, excuse me, I'll tell you what local shop owner told me. He's like, just pick a book you like, hop into it, and if you really need to know something to make the story that you're reading make sense, look it up on the wiki. He's like, if you can find, if you want to start with #1 and just read the whole story and like binge read, as I call it, he's like, do that, but don't not buy a book because you don't have the first few issues or the first 10 issues, because you can find it in a wiki and you can get commentary to make it straight. And a lot of times when you read the book, it's not like you you're left wanting more, but it's because you finished the book. It's not because the book left things out.
What did they? You can also probably pick up if you wait a little bit. What are they called? The continuums. I can't think of what it is.
Trade papers.
I don't know why I always want to call it continuum, but pretty much it's a collection of like the first 20, or they'll do like groups of 20, and you can binge read that way.
Or like a full book, or like a full series.
It's like, I'm thinking about the Amazing Spider-Man right now. Like, I kind of want to jump into that one. I just love Spider-Man, but then the story is supposed to be pretty good, and there's a lot of new character involvement, but they're 40 issues in. It's like, I don't want to jump into a story that's 40 issues in. But
or you could and just plan to collect them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, either try and backstep and get some, or wait for what I think is a continuum to come out. I don't know what it's called. I don't know why I want to call that.
Like, everything had rebirth recently, or several years ago. But you also have like certain stories. So right now, DC stuff is, what I can tell, it's a Joker war between Nightwing. Like, that's going on in Nightwing. That's going on in Batman. It's going on in Catwoman too, I believe, and Batgirl. I think it's going on across all of DC right now. The ones in Gotham, at least. And I'm pretty sure that at least Batman right now, the current series of Batman is going to become a trade paper because it's got designer in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm surprised they didn't do City of Bane, because City of Bane was like 14, 15 issues, which is a lot.
Yeah. It'd be perfect for one of those trade papers.
Right. So, and Batman does that. Like, Matt, who's in here, our special guest for today, he's over there hanging out in the audience. He, like, he's reading Gotham by Gaslight, and that's the same thing. Like, Gotham by Gaslight, it came out issue by issue, and they re-released it as a trade paper. Yeah. Still, I mean, it's really good to read regardless, but so I think they'll do the same thing with the noir, like your Spider-Man noir and Grim Noir.
I think they're all gonna mesh that together. At some point. I started reading that one, Spider-Man Noir. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I read it too. It's pretty good.
The artwork in it is what it's getting me right now. I love it.
Did you read Grim Noir?
No, I still haven't. And that was like,
dude, what do you do?
That's on our first issue.
What do you do with your
episode.
comics?
What do I do with them? They're usually on the coffee table until I read them.
You just lay them up there. You don't ever read them.
Life has been busy.
Okay. You're that guy who DVRs stuff and never watches it, right?
I don't have a DVR. We learned some new things this week. We learned what a FOD. I found out that's interchangeable too.
Do you know what they stand for?
Well, I know FOD is the final order is due, and then the other one is like, what was it, final cutoff?
Final order change.
Final order change. Final order cutoff. Anyways, you want to
so I feel
educate our listeners on that?
I'm talking a lot this episode. But so I learned about that because I went and asked for variant covers for a couple of things, because Batman 1020 Detective Comics 1021, is coming out this week. It's one of my picks, but they have a really cool, the cardstock variant is what I typically try and get anyway, but it's very cool this week. It's got Batman throwing a batarang and the sun behind him, so it's just pretty cool art. So I went in there and I was updating my pull on Saturday when I was looking for Marvel's X and X-Force. Sunday, not Saturday, yesterday. And I was talking to him and I was like, yeah, I want to get this variant, that variant. And he's like, you should probably look at FOCs, because typically, for shops, it's the Saturday before. Mm-hmm. So for us, it's always the Monday before the week you want it. Right. So like our FOC, mine and yours, for say cable number 2 is today, but for the shop it's Saturday. Mm-hmm. So he's like, if you can find it and give it to us, we'll update it and we'll add it onto our pool. And I was like, okay, that makes a little sense. And then he's like, so what variants did you want? And I was like, well, I want this. I want 1021. I want the cardstock variant for Wolverine number 2. I want the Spider-Woman crossover variant. And those are the only things I really need right now. And he was like, okay, cool, I'll add those to it. And so I went home and looked, and I had told you last week, because we went and had Spider-Woman 1 of 25 variant. We both had it in our hands.
Didn't even realize
and had no clue. We're very transparent about knowing nothing on this podcast. So.
We are very much in the learning process.
Yeah. So I was like, how do people know these are 1 of 25s? It doesn't say it. And what we were looking at, like, that cover was there. They had like I think they had like 40 some covers for Spider-Woman, and they were regional too. So different regions had different covers, and it was ridiculous. But
we messed up.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, I was watching some videos, and he's like, oh yes, the one of 25 Spider-Woman. I'm like, I had that in my hand, and I chose not to get it because it doesn't look good. Like it was the one with the webs under her armpits, and I was like, this ain't cool. Like I don't want this.
The art style,
but the rarity of it's kind of cool because I don't have anything like that yet that I've pulled. Like I've actually picked up off the shelf and bought retail. And I went to the FOC thing, and what's the first thing I see? I see Batman number 93, 1 of 25, designer variant. I was like, heck yeah, this is freaking awesome. And then I found the Wolverine variant. There's a Virgin variant for that I had no clue about. I texted those again to our sole audience member, plus the producer over here. And I was just like, man, this is crazy. Because I told you last week, I was like, we're missing something.
We're missing something. Every week we would let out or produce something. It was like, well, we totally missed like 5 of the best releases of this week, and just
yeah. Now we know.
We're clueless.
I still can't figure out how to know what first appearances are coming without me actually reading all these books, but
reading all the synopsis of everyone.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. That's another cool thing about the X-Men stuff, and a lot of comics don't do that, especially in the Marvel universe. In like 3 pages in, it shows you all the characters.
Oh, that's cool.
And the thumbnail that's shown to you of the character is the first face you see of them. So whatever expression they're making when you first see them, it's what's in there.
So if you don't see them later on in the story, then you're left like, oh, why are they making that face?
Exactly. You don't. It's not introduced to like someone, like if someone's in an action shot, it's like a snapshot from that frame. It's not like straight on like passport photo looking.
That's cool.
It is pretty neat.
That's cool. As far as worldly news, there's a lot of crap happening.
Oh yeah. Every Comic-Con in America is shut down.
Goodness, even the one in Raleigh, which is
has that been officially postponed?
Yeah, they moved their dates to May, which I think may even be a little too soon.
May be worse. They just canceled school through May 15th.
Yeah, I do not think it's gonna get
not canceled, but
postponed.
They're online.
Yeah, their dates got postponed. The Comic-Con dates in Raleigh got moved, I guess, to May, but I think they're gonna get pushed back more. Maybe October, November.
I don't think the mandates are gonna be up by then.
I don't either.
And even so, they're probably going to be squeamish about going into them.
And that may be one of those things that people at that point in time, I don't know. Well, they might not want to go, but
they should be wearing gloves and masks.
Yeah, that'll be a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
You won't know if they're dressing up as a character or just trying to avoid his sickness. But
there's also the comic book spectacular or whatever that's coming here into town, and that's not until April 18th or 19th or something like that.
Was that the trading card convention too? It was comic books and trading cards.
I don't know.
I saw something like that.
I've seen the comic book and maybe another ad they're running, but I've seen the comic book thing. And I think if they can do that, like if they've got 25 vendors, right? And that's 25 people plus their staff, so 30. If they can do that with like letting in 20 or so people and it's just like really well, like have hand sanitizing stations, stuff like that. I think they can still pull that off mid-April at this point, depending on what happens in the next month. But I don't know.
Advise people not to touch every comic.
Yeah, like when I go into the comic book shops, first of all, I just don't touch stuff in general.
Yeah.
But like I just I get what I need to get, and I don't pick up anything that I don't know I'm buying. I don't pick it up.
I don't know. I'm kind of guilty of picking up every cover.
You're that guy who gets like 8 and then buys 1.
Yep. I'm guilty. Yeah. It's like the Spider-Woman. The first shop we went to, I think we stumbled onto every variant possible.
Yeah.
And I'm just flipping through each one. What is this? What is it? Oh my gosh, can you believe this?
Dude, I went in there the other day and dude's like, I was like, hey, do you have X-Force number 2, 3, or 4? Because I couldn't find those anywhere. I found 1. I found a variant of 1. I found a 1 in 25 variant of 1. But I couldn't find 2, 3, and 4 anywhere. I don't know why. And I was like, hey, do you have 2, 3, and 4 of X-Force? He's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe. I was like, well, it's not on the shelf anywhere. He's like, yeah, I got you. We got so many nicks and crannies around here. They might turn up. I'm like,
oh my god.
I was like, so there's nowhere else I can look. Well, hold on. There's one more place I can look. Let me look in these folders. I'm like, thinking to myself, you mean the pull list people put together for your folders? But then I was like, well, this is from December and January. So like if these people haven't come yet, they ain't coming.
It's probably back in those long boxes.
Yeah,
they probably moved them back.
I was telling our sole audience member again. I was telling him that he took this dude, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Took this dude like 3 minutes at least to get off of the counter and turn around and get in the file cabinet behind him. And I'm not making fun of the dude for any other aspect of just how slow and awkward this process was. I was just like, and Ryan's never been in there.
So that must have been an experience for her.
She's never been in the shop. I was like, come on, it's a little bit different than the other one. Like it's just comics. Like it just looks like somebody's basement. Like just tons of comics.
Yes.
And so she goes in there and there's these two little, no pun intended, hellions running around. And this one woman sitting in a chair, like just telling them to stop while reading the comic, and their dad's looking for some stuff. And anyway, and they take out like a full like case of like 6 books from a series and just dump them on the floor and or like reading them. I'm like, dude, what the heck? And then
comic book store owners probably just had it up to that point. He's like, I need to take a break. I need to leave.
Apparently he knew the woman because he's just sitting there talking, never saying anything. And he's like, and he said, I bought my 2 books that I bought while I was there because I was getting Marvel's X #3 from them, and then I got X-Force #5 from them, and he's like, all right, well, if them other 2 pop up, there's so much going on in here, we never know what's gonna pop up. I'm like, how do you not know?
A store is the definition of organized chaos.
Yeah, and I just left another shop where I'm buying a book, and he's like, I think we might have an online order for this. Hold on, let me check my inventory. He's like, oh, nope, inventory's just wrong. Thank you. This other guy's like, got so many nicks and crannies around here. I'm like,
the true test will be this Wednesday when we go, because he supposedly had like the first part of the Kylo Ren series, and then I think one of the Thor #3. I can't find it, so we'll see if he has them. We'll see if he picks them up and brings them. When we left, he had written down on this little notepad or this little sticky notepad. So.
Yeah, so it wasn't. I like that guy. It wasn't him. It was the other
okay.
One. Yeah, the other guy.
Who knows? I thought that was the shop owner, but it wasn't.
No, I like the fellow you're talking about. I like him. Anyway, so if you're listening to this, whatever your name is, that I don't know, you could be a little better. I'll still buy comics from you, but you could definitely be better. Anyway, so that's basically my whole weekend in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. Building more rapport with everyone. Hopefully. Yeah. Kind of to learn. Oh, I found out they have one of the shops has its own dedicated comic Facebook group.
Did not know that.
I requested to join, but I don't think it's been accepted yet.
Give us access, please.
Yeah, please give us access, Terry.
We want friends.
So I think that could be cool to at least find some people to like try and learn from.
Yeah.
And
we need mentors.
We can just go we can just pretend like we're not podcast hosts. And we can just learn as much as we can and then fake it up here and I'm like, that guy asked me that question. No, it wasn't me.
I'm waiting for him to stumble upon this and be like, oh, these guys know nothing.
Yeah, I was telling Ryan when we went to Blue Ox, I was like, my goal is to be able to hang my business cards on the wall when people walk in. There's 2 little business cards for like the chess lessons and the other whatever thing it is. I want to go any given Wednesday right in the middle. Right in the middle of that. So every time somebody walks by, we'll be like a freaking lawyer. They walk by. We get any given Wednesday buses. Not buses, benches.
Benches.
Bus stops since any given Wednesday podcast.
We could start having random people on the show. Just be like, oh, okay, you saw our business cards.
So what comics do you like? I don't know anything about comics. That's what they're going to say. I'm going to be better about social media for us. I need to take a story thing or something and tag any given Wednesday.
Okay. We got a few followers now.
Yeah. It's just for myself. I just care about my own personal.
Got you. You want to jump into the number ones for the week?
Yeah. So I've already talked about Hellions a little bit, so I'm looking forward to getting that again. That's about Sister Senator. I did it again.
Senator.
Damn it. Sister Sinister. And it's about she is collecting a group of mutants to kind of police Krakoa.
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 Krakao. Krakoa. I think it's Krakoa.
Krakoa.
Whatever. Anyway, that island, they out there, and we'll see what happens. And so I think that's pretty good. Again, another lens into it. Got Fantastic Four Marvel Snapshot #1.
Never found Silver Surfer.
I know. I look for it.
Never found it.
I look for it for you.
Yeah.
that Saturday after it came out, and I haven't found it anywhere.
Both the shops we went to, neither of them have it.
So I found out about the snapshots.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole Marvel's X thing, and the X Earth and Marvel, they are all obviously happening. But then Marvel Snapshot is just like a ton of context into that character or character group. Like, this is Fantastic Four and that one's Silver Surfer. Like, it's not its own series or anything like that. So these number ones, like, there's one of ones. But it's interesting because it's like, if you didn't know anything about these Golden Age comics, you can learn about them. So like Submariner, like, you don't see Submariner anywhere now, but the Snapshot shows it to him.
So is this just another perspective comic as far as like on a certain storyline, or is it just because these are going back to older comic lines, right? Yeah.
No, this is just something they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was something along the lines of like what they're doing with X-Men, where it's a different perspective.
It's just like,
so it's just a legit a snapshot.
Yeah, introducing people to things. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But they do have some cool variants. Like that Submariner variant that was cool that we didn't know was a thing. It hadn't been reported yet. Again, because where we're looking at, we're waiting for people to add covers, whereas the previews and FOCs are publisher covers. So now we know like all the covers.
Got you.
Speaking of variants that we talked about last week, we talked about not the Gwen Stacy, but the Deadpool variant where he's in the cheerleader outfit.
For Deadpool 4?
Deadpool 4. No, Deadpool 3.
3?
The 3 or 4?
4.
4. Deadpool 4, yeah. They had that at Nostalgia when I was there, and I didn't get it. I read the comic. It was okay, but I didn't care about it enough to buy that cover.
You gonna get it when we go back?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't on my list for when I walked down. I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's just like, I'm not really like super into that book, so it wasn't top of my list. I was using my monies other places. Anyway,
we got Transformers versus Terminator, number 1.
Yeah, did you look at that at all? Never
looked at any of that, but tell me that doesn't sound like a freaking interesting crossover. Terminator and Transformers. Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up just because. I mean, those are two sweet things, right? Two great.
You are
movies.
picking it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. I wouldn't say it's one of my picks, but I'm gonna pick it up just for the fact that it's somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
True Believers, Empire, She-Hulk, number 1. We got another True Believers, Empire, Vision, number 1, which is sick. I think I'm gonna pick that one up too.
So I'm thinking about starting to pick these up too, and for especially stories I care about.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking just because of value.
Yeah.
Because these are very important. These are like very important issues that are in True Believers. And I saw some that like some of them go for like $50-$60. Now they're like a 10-year-old True Believers that came from this reissuing one from like the early 80s or the late 70s. But I was like, why not?
Why not? Yeah, just to pick it up for maybe the future.
Yeah, I'm not
the value for it.
Yeah, I'm not even in this for the flip. Like
a
lot of people, like we talk about a lot of people we watch on YouTube, like they're like so disappointed.
Strictly for the flip.
Yeah, they're so disappointed because they didn't get any good hits. It's like, I enjoy the books I'm reading right now, and I don't care if I'm able to sell them for retail, cool. Yeah. If I'm able to sell them for $2 at mass when I have to move or something, cool too. Like,
I've thought about that. So what if you did find out maybe 10 years from now that a comic book you bought, say this week, turns out to be like $100? Would that make you want to sell it, or would make you want to keep it even longer? To me, I would want to keep it, like knowing that it's more valuable. I don't know why, but it's like, I don't think I'm ever going to be the person that buys the flip, because as soon as I find out it's valuable, I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep it just because I got this cool little piece of art, I guess. Or
it depends on why I'm buying it. Like, if I'm buying it because like it's a variant, and I'm like, if I buy like, because you know me, I'll buy like 2 versions, 3 versions of something.
Yeah.
If it's a variant, and that so like Wolverine, right? I'm getting Wolverine number 2 this week. If I can get a copy of the normal one, I'll probably pick that up in addition to the variant.
Got you.
I want the variant. If issue number 2 becomes a hit and the base
You've
is
at
a
least
hit,
got that one.
Yeah, I can sell it.
Yeah.
I've got the variant, which is what I want.
It's like what a lot of people do with Pops. They'll buy 2, take one out of the box, do whatever you want with it, and then one for collectible.
Yep. And just stick it in a box somewhere.
Yep. Speaking
Speaking of Pops, I've been looking for that Recyclops pop
the Dwight one.
at every Walmart I can find, and I can't find it anywhere.
It was a Walmart exclusive.
Walmart exclusive, yeah.
Yep.
There's one Walmart locally I haven't checked yet, and I just need to go check it. But last week there's Exo Manowar. This was from Valiant Publishers, independent publisher.
Yeah.
But it has the same writers as Darth Vader and then a recent Marvel Spider-Man. So it should be pretty good. I was reading some comments about it. It does not link up with Valiant's other XO stuff. Like they're saying that maybe this guy is showing like maybe a cameo here and there in the other books, but he's not a part of a story because Valiant has stopped linking all of their series together.
Got you. So this is something completely separate, completely aside from itself.
But knowing that it's from the fellow who wrote Vader and Spider-Man, I feel like it'll be good.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to see it, if I see it, I might pick it up. But it's not. I didn't put it in like my picks to talk about.
His work with Darth Vader, really good.
Yeah.
I can recommend that one. That was really good. And I'm reading the new one too, the 2020 one. Also, another number one we were talking about is the Nightcrawler number one, the giant size X-Men.
Yeah.
So
and there was I can't remember the giant size from last week. There was 100. They're 100 pagers.
What was that?
But
yeah,
dude, Walmart has a bunch of Star Wars comics.
So, which is really weird. I would never go to Walmart. No. I haven't seen them, but I would never go to Walmart. Or, sorry, it wouldn't occur to me to go to Walmart to look for comics. And then when you told me that, it blew my mind.
So,
it feels dirty. It's like I don't want to go to Walmart to look for comics.
They have a lot of the giant size ones. And they also have like 3-packs of comics, and a lot of them are Star Wars.
Oh, just so weird.
So what were you looking for? You're looking for
the Darth Vader, the new, or I guess they're calling it Star Wars Darth Vader.
Right. You're looking for number 1, right?
I've got 1 and 2.
What's the one you were looking for number 1 and number 2? Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren, yes. The first 3.
I think the Walmart by my house may have them. I've got to go there this evening. I'll look.
Well, first I need to check and see if my dude pulled them for me.
Yeah, and I will just hold on to it.
Yeah.
And then so we had introduced a segment about first appearances. I have no clue how to figure this out.
Just know that we have this section, but
yeah, if
we're working on the content.
If you're listening and can help us or me,
reach out.
Just comment below or just roast the hell out of us.
Yeah. And
let us know where to find that information. I'll gladly talk about it.
Yep.
Because I'm slowly getting more immersed into this, which is great because this is a hobby that I don't want to make money off of, which is one of the things that that's like my worst habit is by getting a hobby and then turn that hobby into money. This is my thing that I don't have to do. So anyway.
Help us out. Help us out so we can help others out.
Yeah, let me be more obsessed with this, please.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep looking. I did find a few new YouTube channels that help give context. I think a lot of it comes from context into things.
Want to drop any of them?
No.
Just us. Just
us. Not right now. I'll comment on their stuff, and if we can build a relationship, I'm happy to. But I'm not just going to send people to someone who puts out better content than us. However, we did have a good new piece of content we're going to do eventually when you get back from your thing. So what are you doing? Are you just taking a week off?
Yeah, well, I figured since I'm not going to be able to take a honeymoon or anything, might as well just take a week. Yeah. I still have to move Carter over and everything, so we're in the process of moving and getting rid of stuff, and I was like, I might as well just take a week.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to take a honeymoon for...
You can't get to... If you wanted to go to the beach, you can't get to them.
Can't go. We were even thinking about doing a cabin in the woods or like in the mountains, but...
Yeah.
Or what are they? Airbnbs, yeah. They're not doing anything, so...
Well, the beach is... I was supposed to go down there and have a meeting with my partners down there, and they've shut the bridges to the islands.
Jeez.
Like, you can't get down there if you don't live down there.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Sucks for them. Luckily this is kind of hitting in non-tourist season. Mm-hmm. If this were to hit them in June,
midsummer,
they'd be dead. No pun intended, dead in the water.
Yep, I agree.
Anyway,
but that's where I'll be next week.
Yeah, so new piece of content, and maybe this is what we do in light of like a review or like live episode at the Comic-Cons.
Are we gonna have guest co-hosts on next week?
Am I gonna have them?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be in Greenville? So could you still do the show now?
Possibly. Yeah. Possibly. I don't want to make.
We can still have guests on next week. But
we'll keep it Suspense.
Tentative?
Yeah.
Okay.
The audience will know if I'm here or not.
So like, if we can make that happen, make that happen. The new piece of content is like figuring out a way of like how much money, like what's the limit.
Yeah.
And like we have to.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, we have to go to a shop and spend that money on new books or just old books, but like to get someone who's not in comics into comics.
We can do it we'll workshop the name.
Yeah, I was thinking like a $40 limit because that allows you like some $5-6 books, but should allow you at least 8 books with tax
to dive into something. So like diving into the whole X-Men universe right
or
now.
it could be we could find a way to work that into getting a sponsor for that video. And we just tell them we tell them we're going to give them free shout outs if they just let us borrow the books, and we make our kits and just take them back.
That would be cool. I would actually that
would be cool.
I think we might have just nailed that.
So you are here for Wednesday for the haul?
No, I won't be here for that. I'll be in Greensboro for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to do something differently for your wedding gift.
Oh.
And you know me, I don't disappoint in that world. But it fell through because I was going to get you. It's a Amazing Spider-Man number 50.
Hey.
Artist variant, signed, graded 9.2. I showed it to the 2 audience members. One audience member, producer, excuse me. Don't want to belittle
possible co-host next week.
Yeah, possible. hint, no foreshadowing. But I showed it to both of them. I was like, dude, I'm going to get this for Mike and wrap it up with some other comics and make it like it's a mystery box and give it to you mid-episode. But they sold it. They freaking sold it. I messaged them.
Geez.
They're in Rocky Mountain. I messaged them. I was like, hey, I saw this on your eBay shop. Can I just come in your shop and pick this up? Because I don't want to pay for shipping. I was like, I'll even pay what you're asking for it on eBay. And you're going to make more because no fees.
Yeah.
And they didn't reply. And they just replied today. And they're like,
oh my goodness.
They literally said, this was 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. It was a while ago. You can ask the 2 of them. And then he's like, and it's a woman who owns it. And she said, she's like, just now seeing this, sure, I don't mind pulling it from eBay. Just let me know when you want to stop by. I'm like, no, not coming now. That was freaking a month ago.
Nah. Well,
anyway,
that would've been cool.
So I'm just going to buy your pull for this week.
All right. That and a lot.
It's less than the that comic. Anyway, but that would have been a cooler thing. I do want to do mystery boxes up here eventually.
That would be really cool.
Be cool to unbox them. Yeah. So
we've tried some unboxing in the past.
Dude, last time we unboxed something, I pulled a $600 baseball card from it.
So we got some hot hands for it.
It was $600, and then Floyd Mayweather won the fight, and it turned into $800 overnight.
Yeah,
that's a story for another time. Anyway, those are your 2 picks for this week.
Yep, Amazing Spider-Man number 42, which you talked about. Want to kind of jump into that, and then Giant Size X-Men Nightcrawler number 1.
And Transformers versus Terminator.
And Transformers versus Terminator.
Yeah. So my picks for this week are X-Men number 9. I don't plan on buying all the back issues, but I am kind of like pick it up and follow all this throughout. Wolverine number 2, which we talked about Wolverine number 1 a lot, and Wolverine number 2's pretty hyped up right now. I'm out for the Spider-Woman variant. I've requested it with the shop. If I can put my hands on it before we get to that shop at the other one, because we typically go one then the other, I will probably pick it up there, and then just tell them I want to switch it out for another one at the other shop, and or try and get another one because they do have an artist variant coming out as well. And then Detective Comics 1021, again the cardstock variant. Wonder Woman number 754, just trying to get into that world. And then Hellions number 1, which again is playing into the X-Men and Wolverine world.
You're gonna be an expert on that whole X-Men universe.
Yeah, hey, if that's what I can talk about,
that's gonna be
then that's fine.
Yes,
I'm happy to niche down into my one genre. 2, Batman and X-Men.
Krakoa, Krakoa.
Batman and mutants. That's where I'm getting with those 2. Well, overall, I think it's pretty good. The only thing we didn't talk about was I picked up Starship Down, which is an indie comic that came out last week.
Did you get to read it yet?
Yes, it's very good.
Good.
It has it starts off very well. Like it's a perfect book to set the scene for what's happening.
Okay.
It doesn't really give you any plot. It just gives you like context into what you're looking at and what's going to come next. Not really what's going to come next, but like you know where they are, you know what they're doing, you know the history that brought them there, and you understand like tensions that are growing.
They leave you with a hook or anything or a cliffhanger?
Not really a cliffhanger or anything. It's just like they left you with enough information to want to keep reading because you want to learn about it.
Gotcha.
It's not a hook like, oh, can't wait till next week. It's like it's like a man, this is interesting. This is getting good.
Gotcha.
And then next book.
Cool.
That's by Dark Horse Comics.
I want to get into some more independent comics too. I mean, I'm pretty biased when it comes.
Well, if you can,
obviously I love Marvel stuff, but
if you can read it before the next issue comes out, I'm happy to bring it to you and let you read it.
Yeah,
it's a shorter book.
But yeah, I want to get into either Dark Horse or something by IDW. They seem to be a little bit darker, and it's quite fitting.
Is that what?
Apocalyptic times.
Yeah, really.
Cool. You want to get in for the releases for this week?
Yeah, who do you want to read those? Is that me reading those today?
I think that's you this week. For our viewers on YouTube, we're about to go into our listener-only portion, where we're going to read off all the new releases for this week, broken out by Marvel, DC, and then the top 20 or so independent, most pulled. Thank you for watching, and you can catch us on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes. We're all over the place now.
Everywhere under the sun.
Yeah, we finally got approved on iTunes, so
yeah.
I feel like that's when you know you made it big.
Yeah. However, we got approved on iTunes, and then I screenshotted them from Spotify for my highlights. So I was like, wow, I was waiting this whole time to share it because it was on iTunes, and whatever.
You did it, yeah.
Yeah.
Spotify. Cool.
We just need to update the bios to make sure it links to the iTunes one.
Yeah.
Not Spotify. Anyway, all right. So, like Mike said, thank you very much. And this is this week for March 25th, and we're going to start with Marvel. We have The Amazing Spider-Man number 42, X-Men number 9, The Immortal Hulk number 33, Wolverine number 2, X-Men Fantastic Four number 3, Black Panther number 22, Hellions number 1, Giant Size X-Men Nightcrawler number 1, Punisher Soviet number 6, Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 2, Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider number 4, Scream Curse of Carnage number 5, Star number 3, Jessica Jones Blind Spot number 6, Road to Empire The Kree Skrull War number 1, Ravencroft number 3, Falcon and Winter Soldier number 2, Terra number 4, 2020 Force Works number 2, Fantastic Four Marvel's Snapshot number 1, The Incredible Hulk number 182, Fastest Smile Edition, True Believers Empire She-Hulk number 1, Marvel's Avengers Black Widow number 1, True Believers Empire Vision number 1, True Believers Empire's Elijah number 1. That is the Marvel Comics for 3/25/2020. We will now read the DC Comics, starting with Detective Comics number 1021, Action Comics number 1021, Wonder Woman number 754, Batman Curse of the White Knight number 8, Red Hood Outlaw number 44, Justice League Dark number 21, Batgirl number 45, Batman Superman number 8, Supergirl number 40, Batman Beyond number 42, The Flash number 752, John Constantine Hellblazer number 5, Basket Full of Heads number 6, Legion of Superheroes number 5, Suicide Squad number 4, The Last God number 6, DC Previews number 24, From Beyond the Unknown Giant number 1, Dollar Comics Justice League of America number 1, Dollar Comics Justice League number 1. That was the DC Comics for 3/25/2020. Now we will read the top 20 or so most pulled independent titles. Sex Criminals number 28. There's always some sex shit in the independent one. Sex Criminals number 28. Monstrous number 27. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 49. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 104. Once and Future number 7. Death or Glory number 10. Rat Queens number 21. Folk Lords number 5. Lazarus Risen number 4. Crowded number 12. Philadelphia number 5. Analog number 10. The Old Guard Force Multiplied number 4. Sonic the Hedgehog number 27. Kill Lock, number 4. Dying is Easy, number 4. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, number 88.
Oh, yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Jenica, number 2. Transformers Galaxies, number 6. Protector, number 3. Transformers vs. Terminator, number 1. Ghostbusters Year 1, number 3. Burka Andolph's Unscared, number 5. Angel and Spike, number 10. Heart Attack, number 5. Usagi Yojimbe Color Classics, number 3.
All right.
That is our this week's comics for 3/25/2020.
2020.
And that has been episode 5 of Any Given Wednesday.
It has. Thank you for joining us and sticking around. Go check us out on all our different channels and platforms. And we hope to see you next week. Thank you.
Any Given Wednesday is a React Radio production. All contents are filmed and edited in the React studio. For past episodes, as well as our sister shows, check out reactradionc.com. Thanks for listening.